you have to have some diversity.
Yeah.
I just truly
think
believe.
that's important.
But I still believe that you are a product of what you surround yourself with.
Exactly.
So I think it needs to be the differences in you need to still be like positive differences. It can't be like, oh, they party and do drugs on the weekends, I'm sober. Like, I don't think that's like the good difference to have, but it's like, oh, like.
Well, and I hate saying this, but I don't have a better way to explain it.
Mm-hmm.
All of my friends benefit me.
Yeah.
They either taught me something or helped me through something.
Thank you.
Yeah, and help you through something. It doesn't have to be like a dollar value.
If your friends don't benefit you, the chances are, if you called them at 4 a.m. and needed help, they're not going to answer. That's not your friend.
Thank you. Yep. That is.
I know me and Jake are friends because he calls me at 3 a.m. to do brake pads on his BMW.
I do. There's only
I not open your credit card. No.
Say like there's only a select few of people that I have now that I can truly say I can call them at 3 in the morning and they would come and
help you.
They would come bail me out of jail.
Yeah. And
that's what I've had to realize in my life, and I've probably cut friends out of my life that would have came and bailed me out of jail at 3 a.m. And that's on me, and that's learning and growing in life. But what I've also realized too is those are the people that I want to surround myself with every single day of my life. I don't even want to surround myself with people that are in the different lifestyles and have different opinions and ways they see things. I don't even want that in my head, in my thought process, and that's just the way I operate, because I'm the type of person that if I hear something I've never heard before, I'm going to make you prove me that you're right. I'm going to hit you with every objection until you can prove me I'm right, but then I'm going to go and then I'm going to start researching that. I'm that type of person. If you're going to tell me something I don't know anything about, by the next day I'm going to know everything about it and more, and that's just who I am. And with what I want to do and like keep on moving, I can't even have that in my life because that's just going to block me from going where I actually want to go. Because say someone starts saying something just about anything that it's not related to me at all, then it's going to interest me. I get interested about everything. I'm the most intrigued person ever. I could watch 100 people do something different and I could just sit there and watch. I find that interesting. So I've almost had to put the horses things over their eyes and just have
narrow focus.
And you're my boy, these are my boys, and this is who I'm riding with. I'm sorry, that's what I've kind of decided. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna make wrong, and I've probably made wrong decisions, but I think it's at points in your life, and I think that's good from us because that's what I have to do right now to get where Chloe is and then to where you are. And then Chloe is almost still in my same perspective, but now where you are is you have the foundation.
Yeah.
You have an income coming. You're not comfortable no matter what. You're never going to be comfortable probably or satisfied, but you're to the point where you can start to see other things.
Well, and that's what I try and say too. Like, when people ask me, they're like, well, what's next? Like, I don't really know. Like, realistically, if I wanted to retire next year, I could. Mm-hmm. Like, if I want to be done, I wouldn't spend any more money. Mm-hmm. I could. Mm-hmm. I have no interest in that.
Yeah.
But I could.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where I think you really find yourself. Mm-hmm. Like we were talking right before the podcast, I sat in my garage a month and a half ago and I was smoking a cigar, looking around, I'm like, I literally have everything I've ever dreamt of. Mm-hmm. Like, there's no more.
It's crazy just because I feel like I similarly, to be in the position I am, I never even in my wildest dreams thought I'd be here. So it is kind of it's a rattling feeling to be like, well, how high do I shoot now? Where do I even go? Because it's like, I don't even know. Because that is the limiting beliefs that we have about ourselves, and it's kind of biting me in the butt now because it's like, I wish I would have shot higher. But it's like, I didn't realize I'd get here, so now that I'm here, I'm like, what's next? And that's what I'm figuring out.
Stop and you just.
That's what I'm figuring out, right? Like, I'm keeping the wheels going, but I gotta figure it out, and that's literally the position that I would say I'm in right now. Is I'm to where I've always dreamt of, but now I know I have more potential in me because I'm feel like it's barely scraping the surface. I'm 3 years into my life, I feel like, so it's like, what can I do at 30? Mm-hmm. And it's like, I don't even know. Like, it blows my mind. So yeah.
And that's why, not to interrupt you, but I would say with like people is how you, a month and a half ago, were sitting in your garage smoking their cigar and like thinking to yourself, you have everything you've dreamed of always, and you're where you are now. Like saying you have everything you've ever dreamed of.
Yeah.
And that's what I think is I've learned from you guys and maybe from Dad too, but like that's just nothing what I've ever thought of. Like where I set my goal is I wanna be the king of the world. I wanna have a house. I wanna have everything. Like I don't.
Well, I agree with you.
That's it, and I realize that you have to have goals.
Yeah.
But I think personally, you guys set your goals too low and your standard is too low. Like I don't want to just have 300. I want to have 5 million. I don't want to be making.
Right.
I'm in the same boat with you.
I am too, but it's the thing is like, and I'm not trying
Never
to
thought
justify
I'd make it
us.
this far.
Right. I'm not trying to justify us, but it's the fact that we didn't.
Because I dug holes for a living.
But you could
digging holes for a living. You don't have $100,000 in motorcycles sitting in the garage. You don't make that a year digging holes. That's what I knew. Mm-hmm. Never imagined it. I never imagined it. Now,
we all started in a very different position starting.
You're gonna make pennies.
Yeah.
If you think dollars, you're gonna make dollars. If you think millions, you're gonna think millions.
That goes into manifesting everything.
But that's a good friend of mine told me that 10 years ago. He said, you got to quit thinking about the pennies and start making dollars.
Yeah.
We're past the dollars.
Mm-hmm.
You got to start thinking bigger. You got to start thinking bigger. You got to keep thinking bigger.
But it's a process.
Keeps growing.
The thing is, it's an incremental
Never
process.
thought I was going to make it past the dollars.
Yeah.
And now we're past the dollars.
I agree. I just think to what you said though, I think it's a process and you got to stack it. You can't go from pennies to millions. You got to go from pennies to dollars to, I think you do, because you learn along the way. It's like you can't just skip. You can't just freaking jump 10 squares.
Like I was saying,
you can speed it up by making the right decisions, but it's like
this is right before Christmas. We were talking about getting each other gifts and stuff, and I told everybody, don't get me anything. Why? It's not because I don't appreciate it. I'm going to spend time with you guys first off, but there's literally nothing that isn't less than $1,000.
Yeah.
I'm not going to tell you to go spend $1,000 on me. I don't expect you to spend $1,000 on me. There's nothing I want or need that's less than $1,000. Mm-hmm. Why? I'm not going to put that on somebody else. Mm-hmm. Time is the only thing that we can't put a value on.
That's
what I
told you. I was like, come visit us in Arizona.
Thing.
I literally told that's what I told Mom and Dad. I'm like, you guys are coming. Dad's taking work off. Like that's a big hit to like whatever. I'm like, the older you get, or maybe the more into your career, I don't know what it is, but just the more I've progressed, I've like appreciate like different things.
Yeah.
But
you
like I
appreciate
said,
the smaller things in life.
The simpler things. I wouldn't say it's smaller. I would say it's just more simple, like the time.
Yeah.
But back to what
I think everybody, you start materialistic.
Yeah.
And most people don't realize that it's too late.
I think once you get the material things, you realize how worthless they are.
Yeah. How superficial it is.
Yeah. Not worthless, but superficial.
How much more important time is when you have.
Yeah.
Not that we have money. I'm not going to sit here
no.
I'm not trying to deny it. We don't have millions. None of us. Not combined. We don't.
No.
But when you've got enough to where you don't worry.
Yeah. When it's
money no longer is anything to you. Time is the most important thing to you.
Yeah.
And I think
it's one thing you can't get back. You can't buy.
Time and land are the only two things you can't make more of in life.
Yeah.
You can make more of almost anything, but you cannot make more land and you cannot make more time.
That's like goes to like my love language is like quality time and acts of service, because it's like an acts of service in my brain goes hand in hand with quality time, because it's like they're taking time and energy out of their life to put towards me. And I think it's because I understand the value of that, and I always have like more like so that I've like understood what a love language is since then. I've like realized that, but like when you clean little things, like that is me being like that means way more than you doing like anything else, because I'm like and your love language giving is like doing acts of service.
And that's what it is, and that's what I almost need to be better at, is being more like Chloe said it best, and that's like probably the most thing that's ever stuck with me so hard that you've ever said to me is, you're selfish and I'm selfless. And it's a true thing. I have always wanted everyone else to be so happy and so fulfilled, and I've never put myself first, and that's with just me growing up. Like, I'm never gonna let my friend, we're gonna like go to the restaurant. Like, if one of my friends didn't bring money or didn't have money, like, I'm never gonna not let them not eat because they don't have it.
Yeah.
And I've just been fortunate enough and granted where we grew up and how we grew up is that wasn't really
but there
something.
was things you did as a kid that weren't like monetary like that. Like, you would
And it
do a
wasn't.
lot of little things as a child that were like mind blowing. Like, there was this disabled girl on the school bus, and what did you do for her? Like, you were literally like 3 or 4, and
It was pre-K.
yeah, you were so little, and you were doing something for her, and
I think I just helped her off the bus.
But that, you helping this girl who can barely walk herself, like, off the bus, like, I don't know what 3 or 4-year-old sees that and is like, I want to do that. But you selfish, like, you weren't doing it for free.
Even mom and dad used to get emails about you helping kids in the classroom if they didn't
and I
understand
think
something.
it's just because I've always seen that, just like even in sports or just a day-to-day life, it's a lot for just even like a teacher to have a room full of kids and they're just all so crazy. Like, and when the teacher asks just, oh, can someone run this for me? Like, no kids just do it. Mm-hmm. And that's what I was always like. It got me first out of my seat, out of the classroom, but it does help them out so much more than you could ever think. But everyone's just so surrounded in your friend group, and it's not cool to go help or like be the person to help them out and be the nice, genuine person.
Yeah.
But in the big scheme of things, just taking 5 minutes out of your day to help like an old lady, like put her groceries into her car, or like just like the smallest things in life, like the simpler things, can make someone's day just change just by simply giving them.
To go with what you're saying, the personal stuff that we don't talk about is the most important.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like, you can post all about somebody that is going through something. Oh, please say a few prayers for such and such. They're going through this. Don't post about it. Go be next to them.
Exactly.
Jake and I have both done it. Both been places that hopefully nobody ever has to go.
You guys have.
But it saved people. And we didn't sit there and post about it.
No, no one knows.
Nobody
Any of
knows
that.
anything.
And that is like the single-handed most important thing that I
But the
cannot
thing is, God knows
appreciate
that kind of
enough
stuff. Like,
about us is the initiative. Like, there was no first or second thought. Jake was gone.
I know.
Jake went. Same with me. Just there. I figured out where he was. And people were like, oh no, this is happening to so-and-so. Hopefully it doesn't end bad.
right.
Really?
Go do freaking
Really?
something about it.
Why aren't you on your way there? That's someone's life.
And it's not even just somebody's life. That's a friend's best friend. That's your mom and dad's
It
kid. That's your
impacts a million
grandparents'
Yes.
grandchild. That's your aunt and uncle's nephew. It's so much more about that. And that's not even like get onto that side of like conversation or anything, but just like the thought, if those thoughts like ever, oh, no one cares for me, no one like loves me, I don't have any friends, which I don't have many friends right now, but it's so crazy because I know there's so many people out there that love and care and would do anything for me. Yeah, I might not have that many friends, but I could text, I bet, 15 people and they would come and help me right away no matter what.
Right.
And I think it's just by the fact of just think about what you're gonna do to the rest of the it's not about yourself at the end of the day, it's how you're gonna impact everyone else, not even yourself.
I agree.
Yeah.
And that's just, I don't know, and that's what I've always seen is just the bigger picture and everything like that. And I don't know if it's a good or the bad. I think it's more good for the bad, but like it's not, at the end of the day, it's not always about you. It's how is it going to impact
Everyone else.
Like, and that's what I think about myself. Like every time now, you can't always just do the normal. Like just
Because
even
everyone's doing that. Like,
exactly.
yeah.
I mean, I don't want to go like too deep into that type of conversation because I don't think we need to.
Yeah.
But I just think it's always bigger than yourself. It will always be bigger than just yourself.
Yeah.
Wow, that was good. I liked our conversations here. Okay, we can do another one. This is just totally not even such a whole different area. But again, we kind of talked about this. This is ways to find a man as someone who does not drink or party. So I guess
ways to find a man
so I
that
think they mean
doesn't
like
drink
dating,
or party.
like how do you go out and meet someone without it being like at a bar? Because I get where she's coming from. A lot of people, I would say 90% of the relationships I know that weren't from high school, it's someone they met when they were out.
Yeah.
And so it's like, how else do you go about meeting people? And I think it is hard though. It is hard because I don't go out and I do struggle with that. Because like I said earlier in the podcast, like church. But again, like get involved. You have to actively get involved in other things.
Yep.
But it's like the more you get involved, the bigger your network is, the bigger your community is. So you have to, I guess, choose and put yourself in that environment more, I guess. And
whatever you're in, whatever you're doing,
mm-hmm.
you're going to find people.
Yeah.
Like, yours is on a national level, but opening gyms.
Yeah.
You're around all those people.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, we work alone,
Mm-hmm.
but you're always around other people.
Mm-hmm.
I am not dating someone anything to do with what I do.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not even on the same realm.
But kind of because her family was connected within like motorcycles and stuff, correct?
Oh yeah, her dad taught me how to build Harleys.
Right. So that's how you're connected. That's how you met through that. Like if it wasn't for
yeah.
a Harley, you wouldn't know this girl. So it's
Right.
like it's in avenues it's in other connections. Like it's kind of like that invisible string theory. Have you heard about that?
Yeah.
I think that's really fascinating.
It's funny because she sent me that like a week
yeah,
ago.
it's fascinating because that's
how many places you've been but you never met them.
Yeah.
Like in 10 years I never met her. I've known her dad for 10 years.
Yeah.
Never met her once.
Yeah, and then yeah. So and again I like kind of tie that back to God, and it's like he'll put people in your life and then he'll deliver them to you. Not deliver, but like it'll become a thing when it's like divine timing, like when it's right for the both of you. And two, I think that's another thing with relationships that I often get impatient because I'm like, I think I'm ready, which I know I'm clearly not, or I'd be in a relationship. God would like willingly put me in a relationship, but it's like it's not even just always about you, it's about the other person too. Like your partner might be going through something in life that you have no idea, and they're still working through and they're not ready. It's not their time.
I think a lot of people try too hard to be in a relationship.
There's like a fine line that you have to put in effort because people think it's just going to fall into their lap.
Yeah.
And if you don't leave your house and you don't go out and you don't do anything and you have no network of friends and community, you're not going to meet people.
You have to be open.
You do. You have to be willing to put yourself out there and like go on a date and do these things.
You don't need to be throwing yourself.
It can't be your freaking front focus and priority. And it is easy to fall into that trap because I have myself. Like I get way too like caught up in it. I do. I spend too much time thinking and talking about it. But it's like it's a fine line. It is a fine line of putting in effort but not putting in all of your focus.
Yep.
It has to be a priority, but it can't be your number. I don't think it can be your number one priority. I think you need to keep working on yourself and putting your energy into other areas, and then it will feed back to you.
Yeah.
And like again too, like even with dating and stuff, it's like you kind of attract where you're at. And
and even like getting your career off the ground.
Yeah.
That takes a lot of effort. You're not going to have much time for other stuff.
Right.
You know, like
I think that's the hard part about dating in your early 20s. I've noticed is a lot of us, at least the people that I would care to like meet, I want people who are passionate in their career, hardworking, successful, and that like they don't need to be like super rich, but successful in what they do and passionate. Like I have a specific view on success, and it's not just monetary, but it's like the people that I probably would want, like they're busy working right now, like towards that. So it's like they're all busy, they're all doing their own freaking thing right now. So it's like, why do I expect that to like them to be available to date me right now when they're like when I want them to be working for that, you know? So it's like dating in your early 20s is freaking hard because the people that I want to be with should be doing other shit, you know? But anyways, I could talk in circles about that. But I think that is like one thing that I feel like it's not talked about enough.
Yeah.
But otherwise, you guys do have any other input? Jake, do you have any input on that?
I don't, because that's my hardest thing too, is how do you find friends without meeting them out? And that's what
learning.
I found it just be comfortable with it by yourself.
Dating these days is so odd to me.
I know.
Like so
I can't really figure it out.
Off. Like people, they don't start on the right avenue to begin with.
Right.
It's based off of looks.
Right.
What they're attracted to, not off of where they're headed, if
Yeah.
their life goals align.
No, the people I dated in
what
high
they
school
believe
versus
in.
now would be completely different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
110%.
So it's like, it just goes to show, like, I guess you have to have, like, a clear understanding. It's a maturity thing.
And
You have to
people-
have patience.
People fly into
Yeah.
relationships.
Oh
Like,
my god, it blows my mind. Okay, it blows my mind, like, when people fully, like, commit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, from, like, back to
Known
back to
for
back.
3 weeks, and now
Right.
that's the love of your life.
Right.
Like,
I'm like,
how did you meet the
holy
love of your
shit.
life 4 times in the same year? Like, everybody laughs at that
Right.
meme. It's a real freaking thing. Like, there's no way,
Right.
like, you've done that.
And don't get me wrong, like, I'll meet a guy, like, I'll be telling my friend, I'm like, this is it. I think this is the one. Holy shit, 2 weeks later, I don't even, like, it blows my mind. I'm like, oh my god, I get way too ahead of myself. But the thing is, you get excited, and that's, like, a human thing to do. But again, I have to be, like, self-aware enough to, like, understand that. That's why I think it's just so complicated. It's so complicated because there's so many different things you have to be, like, thinking about, aware of.
Maybe we should go back to our parents, just find our significant others for us.
Oh my god, honestly, it's so much easier. Like, holy shit, like, it's exhausting. It is exhausting, but again, too, it's just, like, I do just put trust in, like, timing of everything. And, again, like, I also believe that, like, anyone who comes into your life is, like, meant to. Like, God places every single person.
For a
Like,
reason.
even the freaking cashier at freaking Trader Joe's. Like, that conversation that you had, like, everything is so intentional that, like, it all means something. So it's like you can't get too caught up in stuff, but again, I guess that's why I'm so easy to like let go of things too, because
Yeah.
it's like I just trust in like better to come and like the future. But again, people who like if you don't drink, I guess circling back to where we started, you just got to be involved in other areas of your life. Like you gotta have community in other. If you put your community in going out to drinking, I feel like you need to get your priorities straight. Like if you think that's where you're gonna find a man, like reality check, like that. You need to figure out other things in life. You need to become a little more self-aware, like different values, different focuses, I guess. Like,
Well, I mean, if that's what you want, if you want to be at the bar every night,
Right,
then
I
that's
guess.
where you're gonna
Yeah,
find
that's
your
just
person.
that's their lifestyle, and that's at the end of the day, that's what you want, and we have to be happy
So
for
I guess-
that. That's what they want because
Yeah.
then they can't go get what we want to go get.
so I guess you just have to think about what you want and then put yourself in an environment to find that. Like, I want, like, a person who, like, is active and... Okay, sorry, guys, my camera died for the 3rd time this episode, but, we have more questions. They've been coming in as this episode's been going on. And this is a good one. So we're going to talk about biggest red flags. They said in a girl. So you guys share your biggest red flags in girls, and then I'll share my biggest red flag in a guy. But let's just go down the line. Who wants to start?
Don't let me start
Okay,
because I'll just
Anthony,
keep
you-
going.
Oh, God.
Yeah,
okay.
that's my problem. Biggest red flags. If everything's materialistic, if
Yeah.
you're worried about your $1,000 dinners
That-
and wearing fancy outfits, I am definitely not the one for you. It's not going to work, I promise you that. If that's what you want to talk about, our conversation should be real short because I have zero interest in it.
Yeah. Do you think red flags are, like, unique to each person, I guess? Or do you think they're, like, general rule? Like, that's a red flag? But I feel like they're kind of specific.
I don't know, I think they're a pretty general rule
Okay.
on some stuff, but like those
Depend-
two are for me.
Yeah.
But like a general rule, like if you're talking to 10 other guys,
Yeah.
red flag. Don't even
Yeah.
bother. If you think it's okay to be seriously talking to someone and be invested with them
Yeah.
and do that with 3 other people,
Yeah.
don't have me as one of them.
Right.
In my book, that's cheating.
Right. I like commitment and, like, loyalty. I really value those two things, like loyalty and, like, okay, my biggest green flag is, like, communication.
Oh, absolutely.
If you don't communicate,
Uh-huh.
that is, like, a red flag. So it's, like, one, again, I value time, and that's a way of, like, showing
Well,
time.
two
is
things I think you
communicating,
have
and 2,
to-
if you're not communicating, what are you hiding?
Well,
Like, to me, that shows
two
that you're
things
holding
that are
something back.
huge for me in any relationship for anyone: communication
Mhm.
and honesty.
Honesty.
Even if you're not proud of it,
I'm an open book.
being
Yes,
honest is
yes.
way more important.
I
than
respect the
trying to
hell out
hide
of you
stuff.
if you can look at me and tell me, like,
I may not be proud of what I've
yeah,
done,
right.
but
No one is.
I
Everyone's
am
making
man
mistakes. Yeah.
enough to admit what I've done.
Yeah, yeah. Because honestly, I'm a pretty forgiving person, which maybe I'm too forgiving. I think that is something about me. I'm a little too forgiving. But again, I just don't like, controversial, or what's the word? Tension. I don't like
Yeah.
issues. I don't like confrontational stuff necessarily. I can be confrontational, but I don't want it to linger.
Yeah.
So it's like, let's just get it over with. Like, let's have the conversation and move on. Because I don't think grudges are really worth having either. Because I think it's just negativity in your life. But I think I'm too forgiving because I avoid that. And I'm a really sensitive person. Deep down, I'm very sensitive. So I guard my, like, heart and my emotions and my feelings probably too much. And I think that's why, again, I can cut people off. Because it's like, it's me it's me like deflecting, and it's me like protecting my own emotions because I don't want to get sad. I don't get sad. Like Jake used to think I didn't cry because I literally show my emotion that minimally.
Yeah.
But like deep down, it's like I'm still a human being. I have emotions and feelings. It's just I do a really damn good job at acting like I don't. Maybe I need to see a therapist about it. I don't freaking know. But like I think that's why I'm too forgiving though, because it's like, okay, like that's one area where I'm very selfless, I think. Like I'll be selfish in work. I'll be selfish in the gym. I'll be selfish in a lot of areas of my life that I think I need to be selfish in. But when it comes to that stuff, I'll be so selfless. And I'm like, you know what? You do whatever makes you happy. I'll figure it out. Like I'll just guard it. I'll like soak it up and I'll just move on, you know? Like I'll man up and just protect it. And I think each time it happens to me though, I fucking, that shield gets a little thicker. And I'm a little scared that I think I forgive too often, that it's like,
another red flag?
That's probably my red flag. I think that is my own red flag.
For me, is accusing.
Yeah.
Start accusing me of stuff.
Yeah.
Or accusing others of something.
That's what that narcissistic, crazy person I met the other day. It was pointing the finger at every negative thing I did, and I'm like, holy shit. I'm like,
yeah.
What it?
Accusing me of doing something
It's a reflection
without
of
even
them.
asking. Like, what are you doing that you're accusing me of this?
Right.
That's what I always see. And I see that in men and women. Like, I know guys that accuse girls of something. Like, they hide their phones or something.
Yeah.
You know, accusing them of why they're always hiding their phones.
But the thing is, they probably got, like, cheated
why
on
are
or
you
something
so
before.
worried about that?
I know.
But then, if she asks to your phone, there's no way in hell.
Yeah, the double standard part, it gets me.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, when people have those, like, insecurities, I don't judge them for that because it's probably not their fault. Like, it's probably what somebody else did to them. And that's
Are you going to relay that, though, or not?
Oh, I would.
Because that's a red flag. If you cannot be open and honest,
right, but the thing is,
that.
what I've found to be is most guys are not, they don't have the courage and the balls to like actually communicate that. Like, they won't admit to like being wronged. Right, that's what I'm saying. It takes a fucking man to admit their wrongs and like be open about things and like be vulnerable. And that is what I look for in a person, and that is hard to fucking find. Like, that is probably the hardest thing I've learned because I'm very open. I can be very vulnerable. I think it's probably goes hand in hand with just being as open as I am on social media. I can talk about that stuff. I don't really, and maybe I don't have much, like, I don't know. There's not, I'm not really ashamed of anything, so it's easy for me to talk about. But it's like, the thing is, most people are ashamed of things that really are out of their control. Yeah. So it's like, I would understand if you'd have the conversation. Like, I don't know. That is red flag when guys can't be open and vulnerable.
Okay, but then let me ask you, when is the right time for someone to tell you?
Right, I think trust comes along with it. I don't expect that right away. I think it just naturally happens at like the right time.
So,
but it slowly peels back. It's bits by bits over time. But if I feel like we're getting nowhere in the first like 2 months, I'm like, okay, I give up. That's how I am.
What do you mean by getting nowhere?
Like, if I'm not learning anything, I don't see any vulnerabilities. They can't communicate and open up about any topic in their life after like 2 months.
So how would you want them to open up? I guess if you're not going to open up about yourself.
I do open up about myself.
So then are you going to open up to yourself first to them for them to open up that?
I'm not just going to sit and be like, pour your heart out to me, tell me all your deepest, darkest secrets. But when things in life happen and you start to have conversations, the more time you spend with them, it just naturally comes up.
And I think that it should naturally come up right away if that's...
It doesn't always. You don't know everything about these people. A lot of that stuff comes with time and experience and different things that you go through.
The thing is, like, 6 months goes by so fast.
It does.
So fast. Mm-hmm. If the first 3 weeks are dragging, can't imagine what the rest of the relationship
it's never going to get better in that sense. No, I agree. I don't think there's like a specific, I don't have a deadline. It's not like after 2 weeks if I don't hear any secret about their life, it's over. But it's like if I don't feel that, I think it's a feeling you get when you're with them. And it's like, you feel the resistance of them. Or they like shut down and they don't talk about certain things. And again, for a little bit, I'll respect that and be like, okay, they're not ready to talk about whatever they're talking about. But the thing is, when it begins to cause an issue, because their own insecurity, their own past issues are affecting us now, that's when I'm like, okay, if you can't talk about it and we can't work through it now, like, I'm done.
What are we doing?
I'm done.
So then, are you gonna let that become an issue before it's talked about?
No, when it is an issue, we're gonna talk about it when the issue arises.
So you're gonna wait for the issue to arise, and
how do you know it's gonna be an issue until it happens?
Exactly, I know that's the hard. I'm just asking.
No, what I'm saying, like, you can't know until it happens. That's part of relationships, and you have to work through things because it's not all butterflies and rainbows.
You gotta be vulnerable enough to try.
Yeah.
I mean, you just do.
Yeah, you do. And that's the hard thing about relationships, and some people just aren't ready. They get in relationships before they're mature enough to get to that point. And I think it's...
And age has nothing to do with maturity.
No, it does not. It does not. I know some really immature older men. and some very mature younger guys. But I don't know. Other red flags I have.
I'm waiting to hear Jake.
Yeah, what is your red flag?
Fire it up, Olsen.
I just have like so many, but like
yours are going to be much different. It is interesting though.
Start singing. Just shotgun them.
One of my biggest, and this is just, I don't even know if it's life or a red flag, but when you tell me you're gonna do something and then don't do it, you're gone. You're done. Like I don't even care.
Accountability is huge.
It's the first time too. Like I'm not gonna be like, all right, you messed up this one time. I'll give you another chance. And I don't know if that could be a red flag for my own self, as I don't give enough people enough time.
Yeah.
But when you're gonna tell me you're gonna do something and then you don't do it, like you're done, because now I can't count on you ever again in my life, because I don't know if you will do it or not, and I don't know.
You lose your trust quickly.
Yeah, and that's what happens, and that's what I guess it's like, why even tell me you're gonna do it?
Well, that's
when
what
that's not even like a thought, or like
walk the walk, don't talk the talk.
Exactly, or like when people talk about, I will bring it up as, oh, I will change for you, I will do these things for you. No, you won't. I don't care that now who I am. Like people are like, oh, I would love to go to church with you, I want to get closer to God. Don't do that because I do that. Do that for yourself first, and then you will meet people in that realm of life.
That's literally been held against me by more than one person.
Yeah.
I did this for you.
I hate that.
You're an idiot. You should have done that for yourself.
Even just to
have enough self-respect to do that on your own.
Even just like
for yourself
with that type of friend group, or just like something like just to fit in, like with me. And I don't really have that many friends right now, and that's why I'm okay with it, because I'm in a point of my life where I'm transforming my life. Like I wouldn't be comfortable going to sit down with a bunch of 22-year-old, 23-year-olds and talk about God the whole time, or like even like super high in business, because that's what I'm going towards, but I'm not there yet, and I wouldn't feel comfortable going there. So I'm not even going to go there and tell people, oh yeah, I'm reading the Bible every single day, I'm learning about how to become a millionaire every single day.
Silence.
Exactly. I'm going to do it by myself, and I'm not going to go there and tell these people, oh, I want to get closer with God. Yeah, they're going to be like, oh, that's awesome, when I can't even do it by myself every single day yet.
I want to just ask a question to that. Don't you think, though, by putting yourself around those type of people, it'll help build you and lead you in that direction? Like, you learn from them? Like,
yes, in a way, but
yeah,
then
but you can't depend on somebody else.
Not depending on
you have to do things on your own in life.
Right,
you can't always just put yourself in that environment and now just get. You
Nobody's
have to
hold your hand.
Exactly.
Right.
No one wants to hold your hand
so
either.
quickly. People will up and leave, and like soon you'll be alone regardless.
It's
Oh wow, that's a real positive outlook on it. Nice work, Joe.
Okay, but serious.
Lovely.
Like if you're depending on a group of people to uplift you and
No,
carry you
I
and lead
agree.
you, it's like they're gonna leave
Actually, that
eventually.
pushes me away. Like if you are gonna lean on me,
I want
really
people
hard,
to build me up, not lean on me.
right?
Like, shit,
if
I'm not
you're
trying
gonna
to keep
lean
us
on
both
me super
standing.
hard, you're gonna push me away.
Yeah. And I think once you're like built into the relationship, I think like it's not 50-50. Like you do have to help, like when you're in a committed long term, like later down the line, I do think like when you're a parent and stuff, like some have to give 20% and some give 80 at a point, and like vice versa. But I think like building that relationship, you got to be building it like up together, not like leaning and trying. You're never going to go anywhere if you're not like growing.
Exactly, and like that's the biggest thing is what I've learned too is
you
have to grow together and learn together and fail together. Yeah. But at the same time, at the same time, you both have to be at that same base. You can do it by yourself.
Yeah.
You've failed multiple times by yourself. Like you can't just get into a relationship or just even a group of friends if you've never even done it, but you're already telling them that
you have to have the foundation.
You have to have the foundation and the base by yourself.
That's like a metaphor. You can't expect to build something without the foundation. So you both have to have your own foundations to build together.
Well, that's
that's a good
what I told my girlfriend is like when we started dating. She goes, the only hard thing I see about us dating. You're already established. I want to build with somebody. I'm like, no. You're establishing yourself. I've got me. We build together.
Yeah.
See, that's
a lot of people don't understand that. They think that, like you just said, you have to lean. What happens when you lean two things together?
Shit's gonna fall apart.
They start to bind. It's called an earthquake.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Right? If you're leaning against each other like this, what happens? Right?
Pressure, man.
So if you go together versus leaning on each other.
Yeah. Wow, that was like Yeah.
That's just like one of
I'm a
my.
visual person.
Boom, sign us
Yeah.
up.
I'm a visual person, so that was just making a lot of sense to me. I hope you guys are watching this video because
Yeah, if you're listening to this on Spotify, restart it an hour and a half in on YouTube.
yeah, go
Yeah,
watch
I
it on
don't-
YouTube.
I just have like it's not even I have so many like icks and red flags. I just know now what I want, and I know there's no one really out there right now.
What's an ick?
An ick is like,
Like,
No, for you.
Oh
Like, just pretty much everything that a normal 20-year-old does
no,
now.
my ick is like it's like one you're comfortable and you're satisfied.
You're content.
You don't when you're content. I don't like when people
Initial,
sleep in.
first, fastest.
When
ick
I
for
meet
me.
somebody first, it's like if they're not getting up before literally like 7 a.m. That is like so disgusting, and they're up past like midnight. I'm like, what are you doing? That is an ick to me. That was my
If we
biggest ick.
just start talking or snapping, how are you sending pictures? Biggest ick, if you cannot cover yourself,
What do you
like
mean cover
clothing
yourself?
wise,
Oh, like dressing?
done. Like I do not want you in my life. If you
Yeah.
cannot respect yourself enough
Yeah, like girls feel like
to
they
try
need
and
to
be
like
provocative
Yeah.
from the first second, if you did it to me, I ain't the first one to get that for.
right.
Like, why
Right.
would I want? That's the biggest ick.
Yeah, my other big icks are like when people only hit you up at like night.
Oh,
And, okay, but the thing is, like, I get it if you're working a 9 to 5, or like you're busy working during the day.
Uh-huh.
Don't spend your time
but
talking
you're talking
to me.
about 11 o'clock at night, not at
right,
7
like,
o'clock. At
right,
night.
like
Yeah.
5 o'clock hits, you're off work. Like, shoot me a text. But like, you don't need to talk to me all day every day. But like, keep me in the loop. Make me feel like you give a shit about me at the other times of the day. But if you're only talking to me like Monday through Friday, and on the weekends I don't matter, or vice versa, like that says something too. Like when they're talking to you, and I read into that, and it's like a lot of people I feel like overlook that. But like, if you hit me up like past literally like 7 p.m., get a life. Like they're like, hey, what are you doing? It was 4 o'clock on a Sunday night, and this guy texted me wanting to do something. He's like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm getting fucking ready for Monday. Like I'm going home. I'm gonna.
But it was 4 p.m. though on a Sunday.
Right.
Oh, it's better than.
Like,
Midnight.
what's wrong with that? That's just maybe you need to. Like, what's wrong with
Well, at
4?
least he asked.
Well, he said,
Yeah.
what are you doing tonight? Like,
And that's
it's
just
a Sunday night. I'm going home.
okay. And
All
but
right,
Text
for
me-
anybody
text me-
interested in
No,
going,
chill. Text me.
Sundays are off.
Text me.
like, what's
Listen,
wrong
text
with
me,
that?
text me
That's
on-
just him being
No,
genuine.
text me on Saturday and be like, what are you doing at 4
Why?
p.m. tomorrow? No, don't text me last minute wanting to hang out on a Sunday
Well, I'm a
night.
last minute guy.
Yeah.
Well, so am I. I don't like to commit, but like, at
But
least
then what
like,
are you saying?
I don't know. He was like, I don't know. I didn't like it.
Why? Because he was being genuine and normal,
See,
and asking
You
you.
didn't like this guy,
See,
so
we're
I
not
don't even know what
perfect
you're
either.
But
saying.
I'm just saying.
We're
Like,
not
what's wrong with the dude texting you at 4 p.m. on a Sunday?
Because why didn't you text me on Friday or Saturday?
Because maybe he was busy.
I don't know.
Like, what's wrong with a Sunday compared to a Friday?
I like to.
I
take
just
a
feel like
moment.
Sundays is the day where you get lonely and like you start reaching out to like your side hoes and stuff. Like, oh, like I was
On a
having fun.
Sunday?
I was having fun with my boys and at the club with all the girls on a Saturday, and then I was in her bed Saturday morning. But like now it's Sunday afternoon and I'm back home and I'm bored.
What do you
so
mean
I'm
you're
gonna hit
in their
you up.
bed Saturday morning, then at the club Saturday night? What?
Friday night to Saturday, and now it's
Jerry
Sunday.
Bear's Facebooking if you guys are curious.
Oh my God. Anyway, Kate, will somebody understand where I'm coming
No,
from?
I don't.
I
Okay,
don't.
well, I'm the only female sitting here, so you don't know what it's like.
Tay, you want to join in on this one?
It's tough out here. I'm not gonna lie to you. I just got a lot of, I don't know. I feel like too, me dating out in Arizona has like shifted my perspective on dating as well. Cause that really too, like, people be going, it's different. That was a wake up call.
Did
the
you
guys
say
I'm-
doobie? Did you just say doobie going?
I don't know what I said, but
What's-
if I did say that, I hope I didn't.
What's different?
It's the way they, I feel like guys out there like view girls as like they can just quickly like file through them so quick.
What?
Like there's
Yeah.
so many more
There's
out
no
there.
genuine.
No, there's so many out there that it's like I'm just
There's
another
no good
number.
intent.
Right.
No.
It's like there's
I agree.
there's a
I think
bigger
the
population.
I think the bigger
the
the
more
city,
options
the worse
they
it
have.
gets.
So it's like
Mhm.
it's hard. And I thought it would be easier because I'm like there's more people, like more opportunity.
Well, and social media, I think,
But, like,
completely.
Oh God! Don't even get me on the
Destroys.
social media. That screws me over. People think that's a way for me to pull. It's like, oh, you have 100K. Like, how do you not have guys in your DMs? I don't want any guy to know I have 100K. That's actually the last thing I want them to know about me. I don't have my Instagram on Hinge. I don't have nothing. If you look at me, you're gonna follow me 700K and try to mooch off my freaking following. Like, that is honestly, like, ugh.
It's an actual problem that you have.
It is.
It is,
It's
yeah.
such an issue, and I hate it because I'm like, I honestly don't know if I'm ever gonna, like, I don't know what to do about it because that is like.
And that's not even just a thing in your life. That it dribbles down to a side effect in my own life.
Yeah, for
it's
you.
Because like,
yeah.
I go out and I can't even tell you the amount of times. Are you Jake Trca? Are you Chloe Trca's little brother? Like, or just like they see me and they know me from Chloe's content or like the content we make together. Like
the
it's so sickening, and it's happened to me so much. Is I'm just dicks to every single one of them that say it, and I had thought to myself like someone could be actually
so
actually
what he's saying
genuine.
is if you went up to Jake and you were being nice and he was a dick, he's sorry, but he's got trauma.
Or say hi. We know you're Jake Trca, not you're Chloe's little brother.
Yeah.
And I just honestly started telling him no, like who's Chloe Trca? Like who? What?
Yeah, he tells people that he's not my brother.
Because it's just like so annoying because that's the only thing you're comfortable enough to come up to me and say.
And it's not all with ill intent. Like it's not
exactly,
all that,
and it might not be, but it just happens so much, and it's just so annoying.
Yeah.
Oh, I've had people ask me, they're like, "Oh, do you think you can get me in contact with your sister?" No.
Seriously?
No, I don't.
Yeah, I don't.
Like,
oh my God.
why would I? What am I supposed to do?
Right.
That you can't.
Right. Like you're not gonna do it for them.
Yeah.
Like, don't be the mediator and the middleman. Talk to me yourself. People don't have.
Yeah. Grow a pair of balls.
Right. Honestly, a lot of guys don't have any. I'm convinced.
Well, actually, there's a major problem in the United States. Our testosterone levels are much lower due to our diets.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Well, I can tell.
In the last 40 years, it's dropped
I can
a lot.
tell.
No, seriously, it's a real thing.
I'm being serious. I can
That's
tell.
why I've had mine tested.
Oh my. Well, that's probably not a bad idea. But I don't know. I
We're,
feel like
we're going real.
we are. I have a lot of eggs and a lot of red flags.
I got a lot of
Honestly, the whole dating thing,
every day.
I can't even say. I'm figuring it out. Like, it's one thing I really can't give advice on because I'm still going through it. But I can share my experiences for you to learn from. Like, I'm not going to tell you what to do and what not to do. I'm just going to tell you what I've done and probably just steer clear of my decisions because
don't listen to Chloe.
Listen
to Chloe. Just
listen
don't
to me in
follow
every
Chloe.
other area of my life than my dating life. Like, people message me a lot about breakups and stuff, and I'm like, I went through one breakup, and it was a very unique case of a breakup. Like, I don't even know how to explain. How'd you move on so quickly? I checked out of that relationship way sooner than I
Right.
Than
You were
I
out of the relationship before you broke up.
But I was so young and naive to it, I didn't understand that either. I was in denial about the whole thing. So it's like, I really should not be giving much advice on this. Honestly. Like, you guys are sitting here questioning me, and I'm like, oh, shoot. Like, it's hard. And I think that's why, too, I kind of get, like, focused on it, because it is an area of my life I'm trying to improve, because I like to, like, be the top of everything in my life. And I've kind of got the fitness thing figured out. I've kind of got the work thing figured out. Relationships and dating is one thing I don't have figured out. Yeah. And again, I think it's because I was in a relationship for 6 years. I didn't have to do any work. It was the most effortless thing I've ever done. Like, he honestly,
that's how it should be.
Right, but it was, the thing is, it wasn't, he was kind of like the, hands up and listen to Chloe, so I kind of like, I just kind of dominated the relationship in a sense. So it's like, I never even had to learn to compromise myself, which is also like a red flag for me that I've had to learn. Like, I don't like compromise. I don't, but that's important. So I gotta learn how to do it.
You don't like issues?
No, I hate them. I hate issues. Like, I just want everything to be
perfect and
right.
Good.
But it can't be. So it's like I'm still figuring that
out.
out.
So then why even put that? Why even go out there and look for one right now? Then?
I don't know. I don't know. God will put a man in my life when it's time.
So then why are you actively?
Because, like, what if he's putting this man in my life for a reason? Like, what if this moment and this, like, desire to do what I'm doing is, like, for a reason? Like, I don't know.
So you actively looking and talking? And this is just a genuine question.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of your questions are accusing me and making me feel like...
I'm just asking.
You know, I have that problem too, though. People think I'm accusing them of stuff, and I'm just trying to ask a genuine question. I think it's the way we come off with our voice.
It's the voice. It is. It's the
and that's something
tone.
I've actually tried to work on.
Yeah,
a lot
you
because,
need to work on it.
I get asked if I'm accusing people of something a lot, and it is my tone of voice. It's a genuine question, and it comes off as accusations.
Yeah, and I don't like that. I don't like being accused of things.
Well, grow up, figure it out. You've been with us for 22 years.
All right.
I need to grow a pair of balls too.
Oh, I don't want a pair of balls. Let's make that very clear.
You might need one.
Wow, you guys. I don't know. This podcast is ending in a way I was not expecting. Happy 2024, baby. Woo!
Yeah.
Anyway.
Merry New Year's, you filthy animals.
Anyway.
Oh, another red flag. If you don't like my Merry Christmas fuckers shirt, it's not gonna work.
Grandma loved it. she just didn't
There
read
was
it.
all kinds of grandmas.
Old
that
ladies
loved
were
it.
loving that.
Exactly.
sweater.
And if you can't get along, that's another ick of mine. If you can't get along with my family or adapt to
yeah.
Oh,
them, and that's
extremely
the
important.
hardest thing to
For
do.
you, imagine having to find a man who gets along with the two of you.
And you're not going to.
Well, it's really simple. Actually, no, it's not that hard.
Just don't find
Just say hi and introduce yourself
Yeah,
to me. Like,
don't
I'm not
find-
even that hard to get along with, but
Yeah.
when you walk straight past me,
Uh-huh.
like I don't even exist.
and big time me.
Big time you.
Yeah, just
I don't know
walk
what that
right
means.
past and that's big timing you.
Oh my gosh, I'm.
Like then you're done. I don't care if you can beat my ass or anything, but I got a lot more power in numbers than you ever will in your entire life, and I promise that to anyone that tries to date my
I'm
sister.
getting hot right now.
Like you will be done at the end of the day.
Jake's coming in hot.
Oh man, I'm just getting anxious.
All right. Merry New Year's.
Anyway, if you're my future husband listening to this, you know what to do.
Best
Hey,
of luck.
Yeah.
We're gonna wrap it up here.
Figure it out.
Anyway, love you guys so much. Thanks for watching this entire episode or listening, and we'll chat later. Bye, guys.
Adios.